Is there a hidden trait you believe you have, and what is it? Chapter 6 from the Book of Common Point. I believe all of us are born with many innate abilities that we could rekindle or uncover, even capabilities that might appear to be unconventional, such as the ability to heal ourselves or regrow a new finger or an eye, like a tree can regrow a limb. And maybe the ability to heal others by the touch of our own hands or even by our thoughts. I believe we harbor those abilities. We've always had those abilities. You might think it's not possible, but I believe it is. As I have mentioned in this book, if it becomes a thought, it's possible. If it becomes a thought, it is possible. Got my little light going here. Try to see the words. I believe our society as a whole has become weaker because fortitude and ambition are not rewarded, but mediocrity has become widely accepted. Anyway, here's an interesting story. For side money, I decided to take a part-time job at a local supermarket. And it soon became extremely apparent that over the past 40 years, independent thinking has become unacceptable. We are not encouraged to think out of the box or take any self-initiative. The undertone in today's workplace is to be a company drone and not to be a self-starter. Here's a good example. When I had downtime one day, I pitched in to help clean the back storeroom. And believe it or not, I was reprimanded for helping out, and because of it, I quit that job. Why? Because aspiration is not rewarded anymore. We are all being trained to choke our ambitions, and after being called out, you start becoming empathetic, or you don't care. After being called out, I decided to quit. As I see it, empathy, indifference are extensive in the United States because we are becoming a country managed by government regulations, not by the people's law. The last few generations have been conditioned to assume and demand a life of entitlement. Let me read that again. The last few generations have been conditioned to assume and demand a life of entitlement, not achievement or enlightenment. And this creates a dissension and discord amongst people within the United States. Here's the good news of this page in this chapter. All of this will eventually correct itself. All will eventually correct itself after the potential collapse of our country, meaning the United States. That in itself will build character through the reconstruction of a new society. From my book, The Book of Common Point. Why did I read that? Why did I want to bring this up? So much is going to happen in the next 3 years in our country. And a lot of it's not going to be pretty. A lot of it's not going to be good. But in the Common Point philosophy, in me, I believe people are instinctively good people. People generally are good. They tend to get led by the nose by government officials, by any official that tells them you should do this is the right thing, even though it's not the right thing. So how do we get out of the mess that we're in? It will correct itself. It always does. It's not a matter of trying to figure out how to get out of it. It's not a matter of trying to figure out how to push things in the right direction. You can't push corrections. Corrections happen automatically. Corrections just correct themselves. And I've said this, I say this in a lot of my videos. Evil never wins. Evil creates a tremendous amount of damage along the way. But it is a learning process for the society that it's going through. It's a learning process for the society that's going to go through it. Meaning, and I'm not pointing directly at you, but as a population, we created this mess. We created what we're going through. And if I look at my philosophy and look at the Common philosophy, everything you create can be uncreated. Everything you think about can be unthought. Everything you want to do can be done. It's just a thought. So, like I said, we have so much of the population that thinks that they're entitled to everything just happening for them. They didn't grow up in a country, in a society that they had to struggle for what they have. Struggle makes you a decent person. Struggle makes you takes away your arrogance. Struggle takes away your entitlement. Struggle takes away your notion that you are better than a population before you or a generation before you. Nobody's better than anybody. Hang on. Oh, by the way, I got Snoopy cups. Yay! It's my Christmas cup. And I'm drinking water. So, for those out there that are really worried about what we are going through and what we see in the news and what our politicians are saying, it's all going to correct itself. Source will come in, karma will come in, and one day we will wake up and this will be in the past. This will be a memory, a distant memory. But we will learn from that memory. We will learn from that memory. Anytime evil takes a grip on a society or evil takes a grip on a person, eventually it will self-destruct. It will all self-destruct. It does. The problem with self-destruction, the problem with the society collapsing, is that there's a lot of peripheral damage to that with people that had nothing to do with it, which is the sad part. But it is the collateral damage that makes you open your eyes. It's a collateral suffering that makes you open your eyes to what we are going through. Hopefully not to do it again. But as I was saying and as I was reading, in our country, in the United States, there's a certain arrogance about a lot of the people in our country. There's a certain I'm entitled to this. Everybody, it doesn't matter who you are, everybody must work for their own gain, must suffer for their own gain, must give back for their own gain. Nothing is given to you. Nothing should be given to anybody. That's one of the reasons why I hate generational wealth. Generational wealth. Well, I'm worth $50 million and I'm just going to give that to my kids. And those kids, as they grow up, will know nothing about suffering as far as sucking it up and having to earn a living. Suffering about what is it like to go without? What is it like to go without? What should I do? Should I pay the electric bill? Should I pay the car payment? Should I pay the rent? I've got to make a decision. Oh, I've got to eat. But if I eat and I spend the money on food, then I might get evicted because I can't pay the rent. Well, if I pay the rent and the food, I got to make the car payment or I can't get to work. People that have generational wealth never see that. Never see that. Never go through that. And I'm not saying you need to go through that all the time, but everybody needs to live through that. Everybody needs to suffer. in order to gain or respect or appreciate what you have or what's offered to you. Because everything is there for you. You don't have to go, everything that you want in life is there for you. You just have to go out and get it. But if it's given to you, you didn't go out and get it. You didn't suck it up. You didn't do what you had to do to get what is yours in your life. That's why I really disdain. I don't like the word hate, because hate is a really strong word, but I really disdain wealthy people that are generational wealth. They're just arrogant assholes, okay? Because they never suffer. They never had to go through that process of, well, okay, I can't afford a new car. I'm going to buy a used car. I'm going to buy a junker. I'm going to get a fixer-upper. Oh, here, Daddy just gives you a car. That's how we got in this mess in our country in the first place. Privilege. So we have privilege up here, which is about this thin, and then we have this huge gap from privilege and wealthy to the ones that are suffering, the ones that are struggling, the ones that are trying to eat, the ones that are trying to make their rent every month. But as I read in my book, it will correct itself. That arrogance, that process will correct itself. And here's the interesting thing. During the Great Depression in 1929, a lot of people jumped out of windows and committed suicide because they didn't have the mental strength and the physical strength and mental fortitude to deal with that loss. They were so used to living their wealthy life, their multi-million-dollar life with their private jets and their private, all the stuff that they get. They couldn't handle the fact they woke up one morning, they'd gone from a millionaire to being broke. You got to go to work. You have to suck it up and go to work. They can't handle it. They can't handle that kind of adjustment. So they go out the window. We're going to see that again. We're going to see that again. And I don't, they see you later. Have a good leap. Because you are a loser. Okay? You're a loser. You need to suffer in order to appreciate life. You need to suck it up and you need to suffer. I'm not saying you need to suffer 24 hours a day and, oh my God, you're living under a bridge, although that does give you a lot of character, because I've been there. I have been there. Martin Luther King says, I'm going to the mountaintop. We are going to go to the mountaintop. Well, sometimes the mountaintop is the bottom. Sometimes the mountaintop is being at the bottom, because you can't see the mountain unless you're at the bottom. If you're on top of the mountain, you can't see the mountain. Now, I remember living in LA. I was living in Los Angeles. I was 29, 30 years old, and I'm going to be this rock, whatever I had in my mind. And I remember I was living at the Union 76 truck stop in the back of a truck, a Ryder truck. My furniture was in there. I had no means, no money to get an apartment. And so I pulled the door up in the back of the truck, flopped the mattress down, and slept in the back of the truck. And the Border Patrol comes by and knocks on the side of the truck. What are you doing? I had no place to live. He said, okay. Just make sure tomorrow you look for... You can't live in your truck in the Union 76 truck stop in Rancho Cucamonga, California, which is Alta Loma, guys. It's like west of San Bernardino, about 40 miles east of Los Angeles. I'm living in a truck. And I remember going into the truck stop, and I think it was $1. It was either $1 or $2. They'll give you a towel and a bar of soap, and you can go take a shower. I was living on ramen. But you can't see the mountain until you're at the bottom. You can't see your possibilities until you're at the bottom. You can't see your dreams until you're at the bottom. You can't fight for your dreams until you're at the bottom. And if you've never been on the bottom, you need to go there. You need to go there. I was going to do this video about quitting jobs, but I could kind of link them together. If you're in a comfortable job, you got a job and you're comfortable, you've been there for a number of years, and you hate your job, you hate going to work every day, quit. Just quit. Now, if you do quit, don't blame the results on me, okay? Don't come back to me, oh, I'm going to, John told me to quit. What I'm saying is, if you don't go to the bottom now and then, you can't see the mountaintop. If you're working a mundane job every day and you're doing the same thing day in and day out and day in and day out and day in, and you're just becoming a drone and you're becoming what I read in this book, that you're stuck in this job, quit. Because when you do that, when you get to that point where you get down so low and you quit and you're sitting on the floor in your living room going, how am I going to eat? How am I going to pay the bills? Why the hell did I quit my job? It will make you see the mountaintop. It will make you work harder. It will make you seek and get a better job. It will make you seek and get a better life if you quit. Because you can always go back. There's always going to be another job. There's always going to be another job. You're not about a job. You're about a life. You got to build a life for yourself. Screw the job. And get a Snoopy cup. Hang on. So in the beginning of this video, I was talking about how we got into this mess. We got into this mess in this country because we have too many privileged people. Okay? We got in this mess because we have too many people that are arrogant assholes and they don't want to work. They think they're entitled to everything. That's how we got into this mess. That's how we have all these entitled jerks running our country. Every one of them are educated idiots. Every single one of them, from the president on down to the Speaker of the House, to all the senators, everybody in there are these privileged, educated assholes. We need to clean house. Period. As I was saying, they need no job. And when they're at the bottom, then maybe they can see the mountaintop. Like you can see the mountaintop because you're on the bottom. They need to be on the bottom so they can see the mountaintop. They can see the struggle. They can see the strain. They can see the hardships. They can't see the hardships. They don't have hardships. Everything is given to them. Money, retirement, pensions, big salaries, health care. Everything is given to them. We have a privileged government. We have a privileged president. We have a privileged white vice president. They're all privileged jerks. How did we get here? We got here because we have such a big population that is self-serving. They never suffered. And they're afraid to suffer. Well, I'm going to vote for this jerk over here because he's going to give me a better life. He's not going to give you shit. You got to earn a better life. You got to work for a better life. You got to achieve a better life. Nobody's going to give you a better life. Nobody's going to give you a better life. That asshole is not going to give you a better life. He's going to give you a worse life because he doesn't understand what a good life is. He doesn't understand what struggle is. He's never struggled in his whole entire life. He's never worked a job in his life. He's never driven a damn car in his life. Think about that. All of them up there, all the senators, all the governors, all the leaders that we have right now have never done that. They have a different white shirt every day that's dry cleaned and bleached. They don't do their own laundry. They don't wash their own clothes. They don't go grocery shopping. They don't do any of that, but you do? How is this related to what I was talking about in my book? It's related because We have become a country of self-serving assholes. The majority of the population in our country they got this egotistical, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm always right, I deserve this, I deserve this. That's the majority of our population in this country. How is it going to change? We are going to contract. I don't know if it's going to be a collapse. It might be. It might be one day we wake up and the stock market just crashes and we are all out of work. We're like, oh, now we need to look up for the mountaintop because we're forced to. We are struggling now because we're forced into struggling. There is some of the population that's going through it. Our farmers are going through it right now. Our farmers are struggling because they voted for the wrong idiot. And now they need help. They're on the bottom. They're on the very bottom. They might lose their farms, generation after generational farms, because they made that decision because they're self-serving. Quit thinking like that. Quit thinking about, oh, it's about me. Yes, it is about survival, but it's not about you. It's about a collective survival. It's about a collective country. It's about a collective purpose. It's about a collective meaning. It's not an individual meaning. It's in our Constitution of the United States. We the people, not us, not me. It's we the people collectively make our country strong. It's we the people that move our country forward. It's we the people that see the mountaintop. It's we the people that help each other and pull each other up to the mountaintop. It's we the people that take our brothers on our shoulders and help each other, not give out free food, give out free assistance. Help each other, make each other work for themselves. Make each person work for their own gain. It's not about, I'm just going to give you this. It's not about privilege. That's where we went wrong in our country in the last 40 years. But here is the diamond in the rough in this video. It is going to correct itself. And this country will be stronger for it and will be better for it. There's going to be a lot of suffering. There's going to be a lot of hunger. There's going to be a lot of people out of homes and out of work, living in a park, living under a bridge, living in a tent, living in your car. I was watching a line of cars line up to get food. We haven't got to the final correction, but we're going to go little increments, correction after correction after correction. We will finally get back to reality in this country. But I saw this video that was on the news. There was 100 cars lined up to get food at a food bank. And I'm sitting there, and my roommate's going, "Oh, that's really sad. That's really sad. They did it to themselves." Those people, us, did it to ourselves. What's the irony of it is, they're driving to a food bank with a new car. Are you kidding me? You've got a new car, maybe 5 or 6 years old, a new car, and you can't eat? Your priorities are screwed up, Jack. Sell the damn car. Get rid of the car. That I don't get. Take your $800 payment on your car, on your new car. Get rid of it and buy a beater used car so you can just get around, so you can eat. That's the thing. We've got to get off the tit. We as a nation have to get off the tits of other people. That's what we're on. Oh, I'm not going to get rid of my new car. I'm not going to get rid of my beautiful home that I'm paying too much for. But you're going to be forced to get rid of it. You're going to be forced to get rid of it because first it's food. You got to have food. But you don't need a brand new car. You don't need an immaculate house. We will collapse. We are collapsing. We are contracting. We're going to have there's going to be this major contraction. It's already started like, 3 or 4 years ago. There's this contraction that's going on in our country. What I mean by contraction, all the major department stores like Macy's and Sears and Montgomery Ward's, all these stores are closing because Amazon is changing the way we buy things. AI is changing the way we live. We not only have a government that's trying to manipulate everything because of their privilege, we have a contraction going on with people suffering because they can't get a job. There's no work. That's going to change the way we live. It's going to change completely the way. So all that combined is creating this pressure to push our country down. But the good news is this. We will get through this. We will get through this by only one means: collective power, collective thought, collective belief, collective harmony, working together. We gotta change that mindset. It's not about me. It's about us. It's about us. It is about us. We have to change the way we think. We have to change the way we think. And until we do that, we will suffer. Until we do that, the idiots that run our government will run our lives. We have to change the way we think. And until we do that, the morons that are running this country, the privilege that are running this country, the money that is running this country, the spoiled brats that are in our government, that are running our country, will remain until we change the way we think about how we work together. We must be in harmony, not fight with each other, but work together to correct all the damage we created. And the first step starts with looking inward and saying, I created this mess. And then you go, well, I didn't vote for him, John. It's not about who you voted for. It's about how you think. About how you think. Doesn't matter who we voted for. That doesn't matter. That's all going to correct itself. It is all going to correct itself. Because in this book, as I read in that paragraph of the page, in my book, and I truly believe this, and I've seen this with my own eyes in my life, evil never wins. Wrong never wins. Thieves never win. Corruption never wins. It's like a battle. They'll win a few battles, but they never win the war. They never win the war. They will not win this war. They won't. Hold that thought. I'll be right back. I'm back. Thank you so much to all my seekers. I call you guys that follow me, my true followers that listen to my videos all the time. You are my seekers. You are a seeker. Please leave a comment down below. Leave a comment. Click on my playlist for my songs. You can listen to my songs. Thank you. You guys are amazing. Channel is growing. Subscribe. Leave a like. Watch my videos. If you want to get involved with the Compoint Society, which is about this book, it's stuck here. Let me know. If you just sign up, if you just not sign up, if you just leave a comment on there, you basically are signing up for helping me with my channel. Eventually, I'm going to have a mailing list. Eventually, we're going to have a website, all that kind of stuff. If you want to buy my book, you can buy it from me. Let me know you want to buy one of my books. I'll sell it to you for $40. And somehow I'll figure out a way to get to it. Just leave in the comments or a way to contact you, and I'll get you a book. It is not available on Amazon. It's not available online anywhere. It's only available in print form like this. So eventually, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do a landing page. Maybe PayPal, maybe Wix, maybe a site. I'm not sure yet. There's a lot of different ways to do a landing page, and most of them cost money. Most of them are expensive, and I don't want to go there. I want an easy landing page link where you can just hit the link, go and buy the book. So also too, I was on Buy Me a Coffee. I canceled it. I got rid of it. It was just too much to deal with. It wasn't working for me. So if that link pops up, that doesn't work anymore. Just move forward. Love you guys. I got to go. Please leave a comment. Leave a comment. Leave. Oh, I'm getting the camera. Leave a comment about anything. I don't care. But leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. Love you guys. Got to go. Bye now. The book. Get the glare off the screen here. Bye, guys.